And aside from Sunday, when the Giants had a 5-3 lead heading into the ninth, the Yankees were just like having
Dominant.
their fun. Like they were basically like a cat with a mouse, like just toying with it and tossing it up and down. That's basically how the Yankees treated the Giants this weekend.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm one of your hosts, Stacey Gotsoulias. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to get parts fast. Shop for your next plumbing, HVAC, or electrical job and get fast shipping from coast to coast at SupplyHouse.com. With me, as usual, is my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian, your face is very smooth.
Yeah, the Rangers are very done. I was trying to grow the playoff beard to see if they could help them out, and it unfortunately did not. So the next beard will return in October, hopefully. Well,
nice. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like the videos, hit the bell so you're notified when our videos go up. And on today's show, there were some silly takes coming out of San Francisco, some from Twitter, some from their radio hosts about Aaron Judge and his decision to stay with the Yankees. We're going to talk about them. The Yankees were visited by the oldest living Yankee and the Wu-Tang Clan this weekend in San Francisco, and it's Miners Monday, so we'll be talking about what happened on the farm. But first, the Yankees sweep in San Francisco.
yeah, I think the most surprising result for me, at least, of the road trip, right? The fact that you can sweep the San Francisco Giants, who are it's a competitive, good team, like not a bad team at all. And to go in there and really look like you are a class above them, right? Like, I mean, it wasn't a competitive series, really. The Yankees dominated every single game of the series and certainly dominated with the bats and the power. I mean, Judge and Soto, I mean, if these two players very well combined could be making $100 million next year.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems worth it. That's how good they've both been.
Yeah. And like you said, if you told me that the Yankees were going to have a 7-2 West Coast road trip with a sweep, I would have figured the sweep would happen in Anaheim because of how bad the Angels are. I was not expecting this sweep against the Giants. Like you said, they're a pretty competitive team. And aside from Sunday, when the Giants had a 5-3 lead heading into the ninth, the Yankees were just like having
Dominant.
their fun. Like they were basically like a cat with a mouse, like just toying with it and tossing it up and down. That's basically how the Yankees treated the Giants this weekend.
And that was the entire road trip, essentially, right? And that's what they do. They tend to lose 2 in a row and then win like 7 in a row, and then lose 2 in a row and then win 7 in a row. They've been utterly dominant. They've been as good. They've been the best team in baseball. They've been better than any team in baseball other than Philadelphia. I cannot believe the stretch they're on. I really can't. Sometimes I'm floored.
No, I can't either. Because I spoke about this at the beginning of the season. I think I actually spoke about this before you joined the show. But this West Coast road trip, when I saw it on the schedule, it worried me.
Yeah, it looks brutal.
You know, it looked like it was going to be a brutal trip. And coming off that trip 7-2 is absolutely incredible. Like, well done in every facet of the game. You can't really ask for more than that because you can't ask for a team to sweep 9 games on the road. That's kind of impossible. But yeah, I'm very happy.
The silver lining in here too is Garrett Cole's pitching in Somerset on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You're going to get him back sooner than you thought, right? Because we were thinking maybe early July, and it looks like he's going to be back sometime in June at this point now. It's just it's crazy because now you look at the next series, right? And they're playing Minnesota at home, and you say, okay, Minnesota at home. Minnesota could be a tough team, right? That's a tough series, good test. I think every team says that about the Yankees when they're going to play them. Is how we're going to win the series. Yeah. So it's you don't look at it from the other side out all the time, but I mean they're running through every team they come up against.
Yep, it's amazing. So the 2 stars of the weekend, obviously Judge and Soto. Judge has been insane since early May. Obviously, he was 6 for 10 this series with 3 home runs. And it wasn't just home runs. He was on base. Yeah. He walked. He was hitting singles. He stole 2 bases on Sunday. He was basically showing out for his family all weekend.
He's been, I mean, really since it's been a consistent month now where he has been an unstoppable player for a month. It's insane how good he's been.
Yep. And then him and Soto together, they lead the league in OPS. They're the only two players in baseball with an OPS over 1,000. And Yankee teammates with OPSs over 1,000 through 61 team games, a minimum of 250 plate appearances. Juan Soto and Aaron Judge, 2024. Babe Ruth and Earl Combs, 1930. Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig in 26, 27, 28, 30, 32, and 33.
Yeah, I mean, that's a ridiculous stat. I mean, those are the years Gehrig was having like 160 RBIs every year. Yeah. It's been that good. They've been literally that good. And Soto's been consistently that good all year, but Judge, I mean, there was a point where he had like an 800 OPS and everyone was worried, right? I mean, now it's over 1,000. His batting average is completely fixed. I mean, his power numbers are absurd. He's over 20. He's on pace for the 62 home run pace somehow. And he disappeared in April. Right. Like, he's been that good where his pace is back to 62. I mean, he could actually break the record again.
Yeah.
It's
incredible.
Otherworldly.
Yeah, it's incredible. So Friday night, he hits 2 home runs. Just
no words.
Unbelievable. Stroman, 7 1/3 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 Ks. Great performance by him. Looked really, really good. Made the Giants not look that great. So, I mean, 7 1/3 innings is really good from him. Luke Weaver, 1 2/3 scoreless innings. His ERA is down to 2.78 on the year. So that helped the bullpen out by him doing that. And Stroman helped the bullpen out also by pitching 7 1/3. Yeah. Saturday night, Judge and Stanton both hit home runs. The Yankees are now 38-4 when they hit home runs together, which is incredible. Cody Poteet, 5 innings, 2 runs, 3 of them, but 2 earned. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. You know, he was a little gassed by the end of his outing, but the bullpen comes in, throws 4 scoreless innings, and actually the only blemish all weekend from the bullpen was Dennis Santana on Sunday afternoon when he gave up 2 runs. That's it. No one else in the bullpen gave up any runs this weekend against the Giants. Unbelievable. And then on the flip side,
like, that's the crazy part is we keep talking about where's the flaw,
right?
like where's the flaw? Is it Austin Wells, your backup catcher?
Right.
Like not being able to get it going. And even Austin Wells, if you really watch the games, I mean, he hits bullets all over the field and hits line drives. He hits every line drive to somebody. He really has been hitting the ball hard this year, though.
Yeah, he has the worst luck. And then speaking of Sunday afternoon bullpen things happening, Yankees score 4 runs off Doval, who had only given up 1 run in like 9 or 10 innings so far this season. And he throws the ball consistently at like 100, 101. The home run that Soto hit was on a pitch that was 98, although, I mean, it was really right down the middle. So there wasn't really Soto is unbelievable. Like, honestly, he opens up the scoring with a home run off Snell. I love watching him day in and day out. I love watching him. I love watching Judge. I like watching guys like Verdugo doing things, Volpe doing things, Stanton contributing, Glaber contributing. Like, that whole 9th inning doesn't happen if Trevino doesn't beat out that DP.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because you look at guys like Verdugo, like you mentioned, and I wanted to highlight him. Every at bat between him, Soto, like these guys are learning off of each other, and you really do notice it, right? Like that. I know that expression, the hitting is contagious, right? But it really is true with this team, right? They all are kind of like getting on with each other and hitting with each other. It's really miraculous how good they've been playing. Everything is clicking, seriously.
Yeah, it's amazing. So Glaber leads off with a single. Trevino beats out that possible DP, so he's on first. Then Volpe hits the triple. Trevino motors around the bases, scores. Judge walks. Soto. Soto hits the home run. Judge walks. Stanton hits a double to the deepest part of Oracle Park. Yeah. And it was funny because when they were down 5-3 and then they went up 6-5, I thought to myself, I'd like another run. I'd like it to be at least 7-5, but I really prefer 8-5. That was just in my head for some reason, but it was only 7-5. And then Clay Holmes comes in 1-2-3, done. 2 outings in a row for him. Really good.
And when everyone was worried about him too.
Yeah. And no worries. So Soto now has 5 go-ahead plate appearances in the 7th inning or later so far as a Yankee. 3 of them in Houston. Game-winning walk, game-winning home run, game-winning single in 3 games in a row, actually, the last 3 games of that series. A game-winning 3-run double against the against the Tigers on May 5th, and then against San Francisco, the 2-run home run. Amazing.
The best West Coast trip I can remember watching in a significant amount of time.
Yeah, actually, this is true because it's the best West Coast road trip since 1998. It's the first time that they've won all 3 series in a 3-city West Coast trip.
That was a pretty good year, too.
And yeah, 98 was a good year. And I knew it was a long time. I just didn't know how long it was. And when Michael K mentioned it during the game, I thought, I knew I wasn't crazy. I'm crazy about some things, but I'm not crazy about that. Because there have been instances where they've had 3-city West Coast trips, and sometimes they play like a 4 in like Oakland.
I feel like these are rare though, because I feel like usually there's a pit stop in the middle. I feel like it's usually like Chicago, like the White Sox, then to the A's and to the Giants, and then home. It's never usually like 3 cities in California or on that like that. This was a long one. I feel like I've seen like Minnesota, Seattle, Oakland, and then you're home. Like this is a really long trip though. Yeah,
and they did so much better than I expected
ever
them
could
to
have
do.
imagined.
Yeah, really unbelievable. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notification so you know when our videos go live. Also reply to the pinned comment on our videos Monday through Thursday. If you want your questions answered for Fan Mail Friday, we do it every week and it's a lot of fun. Or you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. There's a link in the description. You'll get text from us. You can text us questions. There's a 14-day free trial. Coming up next, it's Miners Monday. Locked On Yankees is sponsored by SupplyHouse. Get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades, SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trademaster program. Every Trademaster gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com/TM and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. Welcome back to Locked On Yankees. Locked On Sports Today is a free 24/7 sports streaming channel programmed for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the noise. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't-miss analysis, opinions, and news. Streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Don't forget, you can catch every pitch of the Yankees' hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. It's Miners Monday. Let's get excited. So what we're doing this week is we're just going to focus on different players from different teams. So we're going to start with Scranton. Will Warren had a promising start to his June on Saturday after a pretty horrific May. Now, he only lasted 4 2/3 innings, but he only gave up 2 runs. The 4 walks are a problem, but he struck out 5. He ran into trouble in the 5th inning, which is why they had to take him out. But after the hellish May that he had, that start was actually a good sign that maybe things are improving for him. Yeah,
but he had a brutal May, and I think it might have actually stopped him from getting called up. Because there was a chance when Schmidt went down that he was going to get an opportunity, and I mean I think his May turned that around. I don't think there was a chance they were going to call him up after what he did in May.
Yeah, no. If he had a better May, it would have been. I think he would have been the first guy in line to come up, not Cody Petit. No offense to Cody Petit, he did well on Saturday. Oswald Peraza is so far with Scranton 7 for 47. 11 walks, 15 strikeouts, 4 stolen bases. So,
decent, but I don't see him coming up anytime soon anyway. I think he's going to be probably getting a strong foot in that Scranton lineup for most of the year.
Yeah, I think so too. Because DJ, had a few hits this weekend. He looked good running around the bases. He looked fine to me. So that's a good sign for DJ. Somerset. Jason Dominguez had a 7-game hitting streak going into Sunday. He ended up having an over on Sunday. But so far in Somerset, he's 12 for 30 with 4 home runs, 8 runs driven in, and scoring 7 runs. So that's...
I almost think they have to put him on the major league roster.
Yeah.
With how good... I mean, he's tearing it up in the minors. And, like, he's... Like, it's not... If he came up last year at the Yankees in the major league club and he was struggling, I totally understand keeping him in the minor leagues and letting him redevelop. But he proved last year he could play at the major league level. Mm-hmm. He proved it's very possible. So I just, with him dominating in the minors and with you already starting his clock, last year, I don't know how you keep him down there. I don't at this point.
Yeah. As you said earlier, Garrett Cole will be pitching for the Patriots on Tuesday night. And if things go well, he could be back by the series against Boston in Fenway, June 14th to 16th. So that's
crazy.
2 weeks from now. It's crazy. That's like actually insane that he might be back that soon, but hopefully everything goes well. And I'm sure there's going to be a big crowd in Somerset on Tuesday. Oh, yeah. Hudson Valley, Jared Cerna had a hell of a May. And the thing I love about this is he's only 5'7", 168, which means he's at best 5'6", and he's doing all this. But he hit 282, 390, 583 with 8 home runs and 29 RBIs in May. He finished the month with a 3-for-4 performance with a home run and 3 runs batted in on Friday night in a 10-3 win over Aberdeen. But on Wednesday, he hit 2 home runs in one game, a grand slam and a 3-run home run.
The classic 7 RBI game.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And the only reason I know about Jared Cerna is during a Minors Monday last season, Steve did an entire segment about him. And because of that, I've kept up with him and I've been following him. So I'm very excited and I hope he does well because that would be amazing because he's kind of like another Altuve because he's teeny tiny, but he's
really small,
hitting for power. Down in Tampa, George Lombard Jr. is struggling a bit, but he's only 18. So that's to be expected. But heading into play on Sunday, he was batting .213, .368, .270 in 152 plate appearances so far this season. He batted better in April with a .237, .438, .271 slash line compared to a .203, .299, .288 in May. But there was an injury in between the 2 months, so he might be trying to bounce back from that. But 18 is so young. Not everyone could be Jason Dominguez. You
can't freak out over guys having bad numbers at that age. There's still adjustments to be made. There's a whole litany of things that have to be done.
Yeah. Let's see. I think Scranton lost their series, right? Because I'm trying to remember. I was looking through everything. Like I wanted to do individual things, but I'm pretty sure Scranton lost their series. Somerset lost theirs. Oh no, Hudson Valley lost their series. I think they lost. I think they only won 2 games in their series, but Cerna, amazing. And I don't live that far from Hudson Valley, but I don't have a car. If I had a car, I would go there more often because it's really only like 40 minutes, I think like 40 or 45 minutes from my house. It's not that far. How far is Somerset from you?
About 20. Yeah, about 20 minutes. I've been to a couple of games already. I do like it out there a lot. It's a really nice ballpark. It's so crazy though, how that's all of Middle America, right? It's just like little minor league parks because like most people aren't close to a major league stadium. We take such for granted how close we are to a major league stadium. Most people are not that close. It's just wild. But Somerset's got a nice ballpark. They have a nice feel around there.
Yeah, I've been to Staten Island when the Yankees were still with Staten Island. I went out to Scranton 10 years ago. I saw Michael Pineda do a rehab start. Oh, wow. And it was the night that they were the trolley frogs instead of the rail riders. So they were wearing these bright green uniforms. Oh. Yeah, my brother bought a shirt. I think he still has it. But that stadium was great. And we went right after they finished the renovations in Scranton. And if you can get out to Scranton and go to that stadium, it is so nice. It's built into a hill and it's just really pretty.
I was when I got into my first car accident, I was on my way to Scranton to see Gleyber Torres play.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I didn't make it to the game, unfortunately. But yeah, Scranton's a bit of a trip though. If you're from New York, it's a bit of a drive, but it's worth it. That stadium's gorgeous.
Yeah, I think it took us 3 hours to get there because there was major construction on I-84, but getting back, the construction wasn't on our side of the road, and it took us an hour and a half to get from Scranton to Rockland County where I live. So it wasn't that bad. I mean, it's, hour and a half is not that easy of a ride, but 3 hours is horrifying. We made it. I remember we got there at 7:18. The game started at like 7:05. So we missed the top of the first, but
minor league games are so different than major league games. Such a different vibe.
Yeah, it was fun. We made a lot of friends with the people out in the outfield because you have seats where you could just sit up by the bar, and it was it was really cool. So if you guys have a chance to go to any of these places, I highly recommend it. All right, coming up next, some silly takes on Aaron Judge from San Francisco, and the oldest living Yankee visits with the team.
We're just past the 50-game mark of MLB's season, so it's not too late to add your favorite players from the diamond in your PrizePicks entries. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first-inning runs, take your pick of more or less and add them to your PrizePicks entries today. And now you can win up to 100 times your money with baseball-only lineups on PrizePicks. If you submit a winning lineup featuring 4 Demon Squares, you'll cash in big time on the biggest moments of baseball's early season. Demon Squares are harder to win, but they also win you more money. Good trade-off, right? Also, PrizePicks even offers injury insurance so that your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For baseball games, if you have a player who registers 2 plate appearances or less, PrizePicks will have your back and not count that as a loss. So if you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $100 with just a few taps. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types make PrizePicks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for a $100 first deposit match. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on the Amazon Fire TV Channels app in the free Fire TV Channels app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows that are covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today now available on the free Fire TV Channels app. And remember that you can catch every pitch of the Yankees hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. Stacey, let's get to some takes.
Man, I saw some brutal things. This weekend. Just unbelievable what people were saying. And it's funny because I didn't see this much vitriol last season when the Yankees opened up against the Giants, but I think it was because the Giants were in New York. Mm-hmm. It's different with Judge going to Oracle and playing there. But I saw a tweet Saturday. A radio host in San Francisco on 95.7 The Game named Steiny said this about Aaron Judge, which it made me laugh so hard. Quote, "I figured out why Aaron Judge didn't want to come to San Francisco. He's gutless. He didn't want the pressure of Barry Bonds' shadow."
How many championships did Barry Bonds win in San Francisco? I forgot. Was it 1, 2? Was it 0? I feel like it was 0. It was definitely 0, actually. He won 0 championships in San Francisco. So why would there be more Judge is concerned about winning a title. Why would there be more pressure under him than in San Francisco?
And does he think there's no pressure in New York? The Yankees haven't won in 15 years. There's tons of pressure on Aaron Judge right now.
It's more pressure than San Francisco.
Yeah.
They've got more championships more recently. That's confusing.
It's gutless. No, he's just smart because he wanted to stay with the Yankees and be a Yankee for life. Like, what? So I thought that was hilarious. Then the San Francisco Giants on NBC5 account. So NBC5 is KNTV. I used to work with KNTV. Oh. When I was working for NBC. So they tweeted an interview with Judge who was talking about going to Oracle Park as a kid when it was AT&T Park, right? Is that what it used to be called? Yeah. I grew up a Giants fan, and a Twitter user whose name I won't say replied with, quote, "You had your chance and you sold out. You'll never be as loved as you would have been in San Francisco, and you'll have to live with that for your entire career."
Judge is pretty loved in New York, but the sellout one is very weird because he still would have been taking $300 million to go to the Giants. It's not like he would have been taking a lot of money to not play. Like, it's not like they offered him $100 million. Like, he was still making a lot of money to go to the Giants. But also, you're a sellout when you take the money to leave your roots.
Mhm.
He was drafted by the Yankees.
Right.
It's almost like he doesn't understand the meaning of the word sellout. Because a sellout is someone who takes the money to leave where they came from. He stayed where he came from. I don't understand. It's very confusing.
And then there was another one where someone said he was afraid to play in Oracle Park as his home stadium because he wouldn't be able to hit as well there. Which
then he fast forward to 2 home runs in a game.
This was after he hit the 2 home runs in a game.
Oh, that's smart then. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that tweet was from Saturday. And I was like, what are you? And all the responses to that tweet were, what on earth are you talking about, sir?
Yep. Amazing.
I just thought it was funny, but I think it's because he was in San Francisco and they were making a big deal out of it because he's from that area and he grew up liking the team. And it was the whole, like I kept saying, he wasn't leaving New York, no matter what the Giants were going to give him, because he could not leave Peloton. I said it the other day. It's true. All right. So there were a couple of guests at Oracle Park this weekend. The Yankees met part of the Wu-Tang Clan. They were there.
That's pretty impressive. Staten Island natives.
Yeah. Yeah. But also Art Sherlock, who played with the Yankees from 1951 to 1955. He's the oldest living Yankee. Won 3 World Series with them in 51, 52, and 53. And he hung out in the dugout. And there was no wheelchair. The man still walks at 100 years old. It's incredible. They said that he asked Aaron Boone why they don't do batting and fielding practice before games anymore, which I thought was pretty funny. He explained to him that he said, well, there are cages under the stadium, so they're probably swinging in there. You don't see it, that kind of a thing. Anthony Rizzo sat with him for 5 minutes and talked to him. And, he was telling Anthony Rizzo about a bunch of stuff. He turned 100 in April. He lives in an assisted living place in Sonoma. They asked him if they serve wine at the assisted living place, and he said, no, beer. So I thought that was awesome. Art is very proud of the fact that Ted Williams never got a hit off him, although it was a very small sample size. He's 0 for 2. He was 0 for 2 against Sherlock.
Still counts.
And he was asked how he got Williams out, and he said, I just threw junk. He also had advice for opposing pitchers and how to approach Aaron Judge. And he said, stop throwing him fastballs.
I mean, that generation's got the simpler answers to everything, no?
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow,
it's
it really is. I'd love to know the stories that he can't tell.
Right, and it's amazing though because Michael Kay said on the show. I keep saying that on the game that or during the game that he was hard of hearing, so you had to like repeat your questions to him, but his memories were crazy because his rookie season was Joe DiMaggio's last season. So he was telling stories about Joe DiMaggio, how he was really quiet. And, he would say hi to you, but he would kind of keep to himself. And then he'd go on the field and just be Joe DiMaggio. And
so weird how that was like the thing back then, though. Because I don't feel like major league athletes work that way now. Like, I don't feel like Aaron Judge like doesn't say hello to or doesn't speak to the rookies in the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Judge knows Volpe. Like,
oh yeah, like
fairly well,
right? Yeah,
yeah. Like, whereas like back then it was like, I'm Joe DiMaggio. I don't care who you are. Like, you're still a major leaguer.
He said hi to him, but no, he said Joe DiMaggio really kept to himself and didn't really talk to anyone. Like, he was kind of like very like reserved and quiet. But I think he was like that his whole career. Like, he kind of
had strange.
That. Yeah. He was telling stories about Mickey Mantle and just incredible. I love that he still has his memories at that age.
Yeah, thank God. Someone's got you got to record those things. You got to keep those because that's the last way you're getting back to that generation of baseball.
Yeah. My grandmother lived to be 104 and she still had her faculties right up until the end. Oof. Just amazing. Telling me stories from like literally 1932, like it happened yesterday. And it was like, how do you remember this? Like, wow, that's incredible. So, yeah, I think that's really cool that he was able to visit with them because I remember him turning 100 and they said that when the Yankees were going out to San Francisco, he was probably going to go see them. And I was just like, please be okay. And please be able to go. And he was there. So that's pretty cool. So to recap, Yankee sweep. Woohoo. Garrett Cole might be back pitching for them in 2 weeks, which is absolutely insane. And people in San Francisco were still really angry about Aaron Judge not signing with them. Like, they were booing him vociferously all weekend. And then Yankee fans were drowning him out whenever Judge did something. That's another thing. Let me quickly say, Soto hits that home run in the 9th inning, and you could have sworn it was at Yankee Stadium with the noise that was being made.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yankee fans travel well. They're all over the country, and they travel well.
Yep. Verdugo said that Saturday, I believe they interviewed him about that, and he's like, the Yankee fans are great. They're everywhere. He's like, they really travel well, and they really do. And one more small thing. The weather in San Francisco on Sunday looked absolutely perfect, and I wish I could have teleported myself there because it would have been the perfect day to watch a baseball game. Not too hot, not too cold, sun out, just perfect.
California, man. California. The best place.
Yeah. One more time before we go, you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. There's a link in the description under our YouTube videos, and there's a 14-day free trial. If you sign up, you get text from us. You can text us questions. And you can leave questions for us under the pinned comment below our YouTube videos to get those questions answered for Fan Mail Friday. We do it every week. If you join the Insiders Club, you get top priority, but we'll still answer your questions if you ask them on YouTube. And remember, you can catch every pitch of the Yankees hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. So that'll do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you tomorrow.